People who worked under the communist government continued to work, and some of them were promoted, and the new management took over communist practices. I had a discussion with Dragos Botnaru and we decided in the spring of 2010 to make a political party even though we were both 22 years old at the time. But the majority of the population hated the political parties in Moldova, because the new leadership in Moldova that created the European Integration Alliance disappointed the population, so me and Dragos decided to make an NGO in which to attract young people and then make a political party. We tried to open 2 NGOs in Moldova. A national NGO that was to be called Roosevelt and another youth organization that had to be a branch of an international organization, Lions Club, in the Republic of Moldova. I must note that I have never become a member of Lions Club. In fact, as I was not and I am not a member Rotary or JCI. Even until now we are in January 2023 and since 2010 I have not become a member of any NGO or any other form of organizations such as Masonry, and also since 2010 I am no longer a member of any political party. The discussions about the opening of a youth branch of the International Lions Club organization I had with Radu Stavila, and I even submitted some documents to the Ministry of Justice in 2010 for the approval of the name, and I had also obtained some documents from the Ministry of Justice for the opening of the Roosevelt MD organization. I was supposed to be the president of both organizations, but I left the Republic of Moldova on September 28, 2010. At the youth organization of the Lions Club of Moldova branch Vlad Puska became president and Roosevelt MD was not even opened. I have never worked for the government of Moldova or Romania. I did only 3 days of internship at the Ministry of Labor in Romania when I was in my 3rd year of studies at the Romanian American University in 2015. This internship was mandatory because it was from the university and was considered as an exam. I have also never worked for any intelligence/intelligence service, and I am ready to pass a polygraph test in front of all ambassadors and military attachés who are NATO members, and I've also never worked for the police, or the army. In July 2010 I graduated from the Faculty of History and International Relations, the Faculty of International Relations, and in August I participated in the international campus in Crătoia, Friedensgrund Camp, Moldova, where young people from Ukraine, Germany, France, Hungary, Croatia, Lithuania participated. In September 2010, there was a referendum in Moldova, where citizens were invited to answer if they want the president of the country to be elected by direct vote and not by the parliament. A number of votes was not accumulated, and that referendum was not validated. Also at that time I was warned that if I did not make false statements about Anatol Matisaru, an activist came in highlighting with a pig dressed as a prosecutor, and Anatol Petrencu, the leader of the political party I was a part of. On April 7, together with Anatol Matisaru, I took the flag from the presidency with other young people. This flag was 4 to 5 meters long and it was very heavy as 3 people had to carry it, and we went to the Minister of Internal Affairs and protested, and later we walked with this flag in front of the government. The protest was divided into 2 parts, one in the government, peaceful protest, and the other at the presidency and parliament, aggressive protest. I was warned that if I didn't make false statements, they would make a criminal case that I had raped a person or that they would put drugs in my pocket. In the ex-Soviet space this trick is known to everyone. To find a girl in Moldova who says that I raped her is not a problem for the police or KGB securityists, who call themselves cis now. They believed that I would submit a false testimony, but on September 28, 2010 I left Moldova. September 28, 2010 I invited my friends to my birthday party. The restaurant was in a place near the train station and I had my luggage packed with me. To friends I told them that I am going to study theology in Belarus. Neither sister and mother did not know the real reason why I leave. I loved my sister then, but I didn't trust her, and since then, for 11 years I have not returned to Moldova. If I came out publicly and said that the current government was trying to fabricate a criminal case against me, everyone would be declaring me a mentally ill, paranoid, etc. person. Because at that time that government was considered pro-European by the whole international community, and they criticized me on April 7, by communists and opposition. In my undergraduate thesis I understood the following fact: there were three types of the communists to destroy a person. 1. To make a criminal record. 2. Lock him up in a psychiatric ward. 3. Liquidate the person. It works according to the person and his status. One thing was common to all these facts: discrediting and humiliating the person. The person had to be discredited in front of the public community, in front of the family. If I had refused, I would have had to choose one of those three situations that should happen to me or destroy the lives of innocent people. It is known that in the USSR there is the following quote: "Man, let it be, as criminal record we make him." In the train I met a few girls from Belarus who celebrated the last day of the trip to Moldova. Once I crossed the border with Belarus, I called Alexandru. I met him at the Friedensgrund camp in Moldova. He was then a student in theology, and I said that in 3 hours I will be in Minsk, please meet me. They met me, the entire team of Belarus who participated in the Moldovan camp. For 4 days I was in Belarus. I tried to open a visa at the German embassy, but the embassy gave me a negative answer. Even though Belarus is a dictatorial regime from the Western point of view, these Belarusian friends knew about the anti-communist revolution in Moldova, and they still met me at the train station. Especially that it was just before the elections in Belarus. For the Belarusian authorities, I have not had and do not intend to make politics in Belarus. In Belarus I was only in transition. And then and now I have a lot of problems, and the last thing on my mind is what is happening in Belarus. Belarusian friends I met, they don't do politics, only religion and family. After the German embassy refused to open the visa according to Belarusian law, you cannot stay more than 3 days in Belarus without registration. On the 4th day I bought a bus ticket Minsk-Warsaw. I didn't have a Polish visa. It was October 4, 2010. When I arrived at the Belarusian border with Poland, I stood somewhere in the middle of the line. Belarus border police check my registration and says, "The policeman, you stayed in Belarus for a long time and have exceeded the 3-day legal term, where is your registration?" I knew about this fact that I had to register, but I decided to lie because my life was in danger and I didn't want to tell the truth for 2 reasons. 1. In order not to be sent to Moldova. 2. I participated in the anti-communist revolution in Moldova, and there is a risk that my friends from Belarus who helped me will have problems with the regime of Alexandru Lukashenko, even if they are not involved in politics. My answer was, I did not know about these 3 days and registration. All these 4 days in which I stayed in a student house from BGU, Belarus State University, and signed a collaboration agreement at the Student Senate between the Free International University of Moldova and the State University of Belarus, if you wish. I can show you the contract we signed. I didn't have a contract. The policeman: "No, you don't have to show me." Then he looks at my passport. The policeman: "You don't even have a Polish visa, how will you cross the border?" Andrei Plop: "I have an international student book, Isaac, do you want to see?" It was a bank card with my image released by Moldova Agroint Bank, and it was opened when I had to go to the US through the work and travel program. The policeman: "Yes." He looked at this bank card. After his reaction was something new to him. The policeman: "Is this card expired?" Andrei Plop: "Here is not the month and year, here is the day and date. In Moldova we have to return the card when we graduate the university to obtain the diploma." The policeman: "What is your purpose in Poland?" Andrei Plop: "I was invited to attend an international conference at the University of Warsaw. I didn't know Polish and it was very difficult to read. The policeman, Warzowski. Andrei Plop, yes, Warzowski, and my presentation is called Moldovan Prospects for Integration into the European Union. To which I also presented a confirmation letter. I attended a course organized by the European Union, and was signed by Wolfgang Berendt. The policeman, but where is your invitation? Andrei Plop, we are in the 21st century and all invitations are sent by email. The policeman looks at the passport, looks at the card, looks at the confirmation letter, looks at me. Andrei Plop, if you don't believe me, can you call the university? With the expression of an intelligent and superior man. The policeman replies, it's 2 o'clock at night, who will answer me now? Then he put my stamp in my passport and I continuously like it should be. At the border of Poland I asked for political asylum. The Polish borders took me to a room and after a break of 10 to 15 minutes, a policeman came and started asking me questions, then leaves. After 5 minutes another comes and asks me questions. They both came and questioned me and they left again. After they checked my candidate card at the deputy in the Moldovan parliament. They also called the Polish embassy in Chisinau and received a response from the Poland embassy in Chisinau, and one of them told me that they received confirmation that you were a candidate for the deputy in the Moldovan parliament and that you worked in politics. Probably the ones from the embassy checked on the internet and saw all the pictures with me. It can also be checked online if I was a candidate for the position of deputy in the Parliament of the Republic of Moldova. I was taken to Tiraspol. It was a train station. It was 5 to 6 in the morning and I had an interview again, but this time it was with a lady and I explained the reasons why I asked asylum and how I crossed the border. They were more interested in the way I crossed the border with Belarus, because there were cases in which the citizens with double citizenship of Moldova and Romania, EU member state, could not cross the border with Belarus and I crossed the border with a credit card. After being questioned by this lady, I was taken to a room. The lady who interrogated me came several times with other border guards to the room where I was, and they were talking so loud that I could hear from the room and they were laughing loudly too. She showed them the bank card with which I crossed the Belarusian border. When they entered the room, the guards asked the lady, "Is this him?" "That's him." They may have encountered all sorts of situations throughout their careers, but one like this was a first.